Let's solve this problem under wave. The question reads, a plane progressive wave is represented by the equation y equal to 0.3 sine into 200 pi t minus 20 pi x all over 18. A says find the frequency of the wave. The first step we'll take here is to represent a progressive wave equation, which will have the same format with this equation that's given to us. By so doing, we're going to have y is equal to a sine into wt minus kx, where a is the amplitude. Having done that, let's go ahead to know what the value of w is. W is simply 2 pi f, while k is same thing as 2 pi all over lambda. Now let's try substituting the value of w, which is 2 pi f, into this equation, and also the value of x in place of k. Let's see what we have. That will be y equal to a sine into bracket 2 pi ft minus 2 pi x all over lambda. So to solve the problem that's given to us, let's start comparing these two equations. If you look at these two equations, you see that you have y and you have y. You have 0.3 sine and you have a sine. It means that had it been this problem said you should look for the amplitude of this progressive wave, what you should have done is to say 0.3 sine equal to a sine. Then you have sine and sine common. They will cancel each other. Therefore, your a, which is the amplitude, will be equal to 0.3. But then we are not asked to find the amplitude. So let's go ahead to look for the frequency. Where do we have frequency here? We have frequency at this side. Therefore, this is also our frequency. Let's go ahead to compare the two. That is 200 pi t should be equal to 2 pi ft, since they are the same equation. You see the both side has pi t and pi t, so they can cancel out. You'll be left with 2f is equal to 200. Of course, you know the next thing to do is to divide the both sides by the coefficient of f, and that will give you f is equal to 100, and it's measured in hertz. Question B says that we should find the wavelength of this plane progressive wave. For the sake of question number B, we are going to compare this side of the equation, which is 20 pi x all over 18, with 2 pi x all over lambda. So we are going to equate the two, then compare them and know what it will give us. So by looking at this, you know we have pi here and we have pi here. We have x here, I have x here also. So the two can cancel out. We'll be left with 20 is equal to 2. Of course, you should know that 2 can divide itself to have 1, and 2 can divide 20 to have 10. That will be 10 all over 18 is equal to 1 all over lambda. So after that, you can cross multiply. 10 is left here, so that will be 10 multiplied by lambda, and it will give you 10 lambda is equal to 18. So finally, you divide both sides by the coefficient of lambda, which is 10, and we give you lambda is equal to 18 over 10. 18 over 10 is same thing as 1.8, and it will be in meter because we're talking about wavelength. Finally, let's talk about the question number C, which is the speed of the wave. Speed of the wave, like we all know, v is equals to f lambda, and we have the value of f to be 100, whereas that of lambda is 1.8 meter. So let's substitute into this formula, which says that v is equals to f lambda, and that will give us v is equals to 1.8 multiplied by 100, and 1.8 multiplied by 100 is 180, and it's measured in meter per second because we're talking about speed.